There was a great study where they took individuals and they were dieting. And what they found is that individuals who were dieting but not getting sufficient sleep, 60% of all of the weight that they lost came from lean muscle mass and not fat. In other words, your body becomes stingy in giving up its fat when you are sleep deprived. And as a consequence, you lose what you want to keep, which is muscle, and you keep what you want to lose, which is fat. The other thing too is that if you're trying to exercise not just for muscle mass and muscle hypertrophy, but you're also going for cardiovascular conditioning, but also trying to manage weight through calorie burning. If you go to the gym early, you're shortchanging on your sleep, your appetite regulating hormones go awry, and you will probably overeat for the rest of that day and in excess of the calories that you burned by getting up early to go to the gym. So it's counterproductive, and your risk of injury far higher too. So it was the smarter choice overall.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like I said, a few years ago, I would have been like, I got to go to the gym to get the muscle. But to your point, I'd actually be doing myself a bigger disservice and losing more muscle by not getting the great sleep and then overeating throughout the day.
Correct.
But I think a lot of people just don't realize this. And so now, after I've had these kind of conversations, I've read your book and learned more. I put sleep as the number one thing for pretty much number one thing for everything in recovery. And I would rather, if I had the choice, get 8 hours of sleep and miss a workout as opposed to doing a workout and not getting the sleep.
Yeah. And, I'm like you, I've been an exercise nut for all of my life. When I started to learn about sleep, it was so hard for me to change. It was so ingrained in me, this sort of mentality of rise and grind, you get your workout in. And gradually the data, because I'm a scientist, I couldn't argue with it. And now I take exactly that same mentality approach that you do too. So coming back to your alarm point though, by the way, there was a study done on alarm clock awakenings. And sure enough, what they found was that cortisol levels spiked when the alarm went off, and also heart rate escalated. Now, you could argue I gave you the advice of regularity, go to bed at the same time, wake up. So let's just say that for life's sake and regularity's sake, you do have to use an alarm clock in the morning. I would very much suggest resist the snooze button, because what you're doing is two things. First, you're repeatedly shocking your heart, quite literally, time and time again with the alarm. Not ideal. And you think, well, look, it's pretty benign. It's just my alarm clock. I do it maybe 3 times. But scale that day after day, month after month, year after year. That's like compounding interest on a bad loan. You probably don't wish that for your cardiovascular system.
It's honestly, if you're waking up, like you said, just over and over to that sound, it can't be good for you. You almost go into sleep having anxiety that your alarm's going to wake you up.
Do you like this strategy? Because Lauren doesn't even know that this is my strategy.